Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your September forecast. I hope that this month is getting off to a really great start for you. And just a quick reminder, as always, you can use this for your sun sign, your rising, and also for your moon. I'd like to start off the video today with gratitude. Gratitude because I really am humbled by how much support I've been receiving over the past few years. I started way back in 2013. I really pushed forward some different formats with the types of readings that I was doing in 2015, and this has grown so much over the course of 5 years, and a big part of that is you, and I just want to say thank you so much. For me, it's exciting to see where we'll go next, and one thing that I wanted to address here as well, some of you have asked how you can give back. I do have a Patreon page and a donation page on my website. I'll put information here across the bottom of the video, and also if you go to the second link below the video, you'll have a couple of ways there that you can donate. Let's go ahead now and get into the forecast. I like to start every reading with channeled information. I arrive at that by selecting a deck of cards that I'm going to use for your sign and then meditating. And then I do some direct writing, some automatic writing after that. As I was doing that for you, I just got 3 words: don't give up. And for some of you, it's going to sort of shift on what it is that you have to be perseverant about. It could be not giving up on yourself, not giving up on someone in your life that may not know how to get out of a situation, not giving up on your dream. I just want you to have faith this month in something that's really important to you. And then I wrote down hold fast, work hard, trust. These are the things that are going to be really important for you this month. So really maintain that faith and know that that's going to be your sort of like your anchor throughout whatever kind of rocky waters comes your way this month. You're going to be able to get through it. Okay, let's go ahead now, shuffle the cards and see what additional information comes through. At this point, I normally remain quiet. Before I get too deep in the shuffling, let me just mention that after this, I'll expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Okay. In addition to what we see here, I like to take a look at what I call a catalyst card that shows connections throughout all of these cards and also a way to sort of maximize the energy of the month. And a card that I know many of you love to see when it comes through, we have the Soulmate card. It was reversed, but let's go ahead and look at it upright and also see what this has to say about soulmates for you. If you notice, the interesting thing with this is the person's eyes are closed, their third eye is open, and we're seeing power of thought with this. So for those of you that perhaps are trying to call in a soulmate, it's a very powerful thing to kind of meditate on. And what you want to do is be very specific. I've had clients before that come to me for a reading and they'll say, I don't know where my lover is. I told God, send me one now. And I said, oh, please, no, don't be that don't have that lack of specificity if you're going to try to call in any type of partner, whether it's a soulmate or just a lover. You want to make sure that you are specific, and it doesn't have to be this sort of like shopping list. Just really be understand what it is you're trying to vibrationally and frequency wise call into your life. And that's what this card is really talking about. And where does that start? It starts within. So when you're thinking of what you want in a partner, if it's success, if it's mental stability, if it's availability, if it's fitness, whatever these sort of items are, I want you then to match yourself up with the items. If you're expecting traits that you don't have yourself, the first step is to work on them. Because as you start to embody all of those things which you seek, you no longer need the person as much. And when you finally find them, there's a sense of, first of all, you're going to be on an even ground with them. And also, it won't be a sort of neediness. It'll just be a celebration that you found the energy that you always knew was out there and always wanted to find. So this card is saying work within. As you're actually looking at what you want in a soulmate, you're realizing these are qualities that you should embark on, that you should embody. And once you've done that, then no matter what you do, you're winning and you're ahead of the game. But make the list, embody the list, release it, and then wait and see and allow for that to come to you. I have another sort of piece of information that comes through with soulmates in general. We have this fascination and sometimes I would say obsession with wanting to find soulmates. The truth of the matter is they're everywhere. For me, my dog is off to the side here, but my dog is a soulmate for me because I meditated about 2 years before he came in, and it was more about the energy that I was looking for, and I felt his spirit before he came into onto the planet, and then I just waited for a sign, and I knew that that was the one. And so we have this bond that is really deep. So he's a soulmate, and it's someone that maybe I haven't known before, but I connected with the energy, so there's a familiarity. But I will say this, every soulmate was once someone that we met for the first time. Yes, they came from our soul sort of galaxy, universe of energy, but all soulmates were once strangers at some point in time. So I don't want you to step away from a potential future soulmate just because you don't share karmic baggage. And that's another way to look at soulmate. Karmic soulmate is what I would sort of append it with, because the karma can be positive, it can also be challenging. So know that if you meet someone and you love them and there's no deep soul connection, but you're just having the time of your life and you really, really deeply feel something, that's legitimate and it's just as good as a soul connection from the past, okay? A lot of times we see people again because it was so good and we just want to kind of rekindle that, and so we learn something different. Maybe we were a sibling and now we're lovers, or maybe we were a parent and now we're friends. And so we try these different roles on each and every lifetime, but sometimes we carry over the troubles or things that we need to work on. So know that if you meet someone that isn't a soulmate, they may have less baggage, okay? So just a couple things to think about and unpackage when we're looking at that soulmate card. Let's go ahead now and we'll quickly glance at all of the cards, and then at the end, I'll leave the camera down here. I will say one of the themes this month really does have to do with friends and family, and also work seems to be also a central purpose for you this month. We'll look at all of that in just a moment here. Your center card is the King of Swords in reverse. This is actually a great card for being outspoken and not holding back. And so if there's anything in your life where you want to create change, this card is the kind of person that you want on your side. Very good for a lawyer, good for someone who, if you need solid advice, they'll lay it out for you exactly as you expect it to be. So you may have that kind of person in your life, and this is a great time to engage with them, especially as you're looking at what you want to do. Now, there is a flip side here. I want you to be careful this month because we have the King of Swords in reverse and it's crossed by the Page of Wands. Sometimes either your ability to be straightforward or someone else's could hamper the ability to brainstorm and to come up with new things. So I want you to practice keeping an open mind, and if someone else is not listening to you, make sure that you let them know that you value their thoughts and you would appreciate it if they did the same in return. If they're being outspoken, they should be able to take that kind of criticism as well, and if not, that kind of helps you understand where they sit in the whole realm of things. I want you to also be careful just about the power of your words this month. Written and spoken communication, it's going to have a big impact on the people around you. So choose all of those words, phrases, and the way that you're sort of expressing them wisely. As we look at your deep past, I feel like it's been a busy few weeks for you, so that already there's a lot of energy and sort of hustle and bustle coming into the beginning of this month. Relationships seem to take center seat as the month kicks off. We have both the 2 and the 10 of Cups in reverse. For some of you, this can show a little bit of a disagreement in where you want the relationship to go. This could also show that people around you, whether it's a lover, a partner, a friend, or just your family in general, they seem to be taking a lot from you. So energetically, or they're demanding a lot. So don't be afraid to put up some boundaries, say no, and you have to watch out for yourself this month. Really be careful with miscommunications. The 5 of Swords is not something that you want to kind of play around with towards the middle of the month. It's just showing you that, again, once these words have been spilled, they're hard to put back in. kind of like Scrabble letters. Once you've seen them, and you can't kind of like turn the letters over and pretend that you haven't. So be careful, be thoughtful, take your time before communicating. Try to take into account why people are requesting so much of you. Are they going through a lot in their life? Or is this a habit maybe that you have, both of you maybe have sort of set up, so a codependency, in which case it's going to take both sides to sort of alleviate that. Many of you might be looking at new opportunities. The timing seems off a little bit, the card was reversed, but this can show a move, change of address, change of job, a decision to maybe temporarily go somewhere and try a new place to live, or to, again, to experience just culture, etc. So whatever that is, it feels like you're kind of not certain about where this is going to end up. Some of you might want to wait and see what happens when it comes to your partnerships. So if you're thinking of getting married, I saw the 2 of Cups and 10 of Cups in reverse, and I thought it could be a delay. So maybe this is because one of the partners is traveling, is abroad, is trying to finish something. You want to honor that. And the same thing for you. You want to feel settled before you commit to something bigger. Now, just looking at how this may relate to a general aspect of your personality, this month it's important to let go of some of your responsibilities. The 10 of Wands in reverse shows a burden or too much pressure that's going into your mind, your energy. And also I want you to be careful for those of you that have a job where you do heavy lifting. Make sure that you're not putting yourself at risk to throw out your back or something. Wear the proper braces, take enough breaks, make sure that you're getting proper medical supervision if anything happens. When the 10 of Wands is in reverse, it can sometimes go into the 10 of Swords, so you want to make sure that you're not putting yourself at risk for that. Whether or not you're in a relationship, the 4 of Wands is fantastic for foundational work. So if you're deciding to do construction work, this shows that you're going to have good team, a good cooperation. If you're deciding to build a house, it looks like things are going well with that. All things considered, contracts, negotiations, friendships, marriage, this is a good month to lay down new plans. So I think this is part of the reason why I said don't give up. I feel like there's a lot of support around you. And even though many people may be asking for a lot, you can ask right back. And that's one of the lessons this month, is don't be afraid to reach out, and don't be afraid to lean on these people around you. Looking towards the end of the month, we have another Cups card. It's interesting that most of your cards are upright, but actually it's half and half. But most of your Cups ones are in reverse. So what I'm sensing for many of you is this heightened emotional state where you're either feeling anxiety or depression. And I want you to try to find a middle ground. And don't feel bad. This is not a singular experience for Pisces. There's a lot of signs that seem to be sort of emotionally off center. And for you, I think what's going to be important is to, like I said, lean on people around you that you can trust, and make sure that you have a chance to unload the same way that they unload on you. Your outcome card, showing success when it comes to money, and also understanding the fine details here. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So I see a lot of you kind of homing in on specific stuff, whether it's a contract or you're trying to kind of like finish something up that has been sitting on the back burner for months now. This is a chance for you to finally let go, and I think that's also what the 10 of Wands is. So I'm seeing a month of completion. I'm seeing a month where the details are kind of getting wrapped up. Really important for you, again, to not take on too much of a burden, whether it's an emotional one or literally a physical one. I think if you are mindful of these things, then this month is going to be manageable for you. Let's go ahead now and expand your forecast. We'll take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with your health card, and this includes your mind, your body, and your spirit. Your message for health this month is really to focus on the power of a good night's sleep. So for those of you that may be burning the candles at both ends, whether you're working really late, or maybe you're watching TV late, or you're just not feeling rested, I want you to get into better habits. So when it comes to having a consistent sleep and wake time, I know that's hard for many of us. We live a busy and hectic life. Some of us are on call but if you can control it, this is something you want to work on. And if it's out of control and it's affecting your overall health and concentration, this is something you can just bring up to your boss and say, I know you may think that you can bother me after 11 o'clock, but I have to sleep, or I'm going to be a danger here at work because I can't focus. So you need to kind of find a way to speak up and protect your body. The other thing is, if it's been a while since you've replaced your pillows or your blanket, you want to do that for multiple reasons. For the pillows, it's your neck support. For your blanket and your comforter, there's energy that gets stored in that, sort of like spiritual energy. And if you've had the same comforter for like 5 years, unless it's an heirloom and something you want to protect, it's good to shift that out, I would say every 12 months or so. Once a year, 8 to 12 months, you can wash it, dry clean it, or get rid of it and get a new one, because you're holding on to heavy energy. The sheets, you just want to wash them regularly. And something that people that, you don't always think about is, if you have a breakup, you probably want to get a new set of sheets in your bed. And I would also say any sort of things that you've shared, like towels and things like that. There's an energetic imprint that people leave on stuff like that you're using every day, or where you're laying down or sitting down every day. So do some spiritual house cleaning, and you will be surprised how much better you will sleep when that happens. And I don't any longer let somebody just sleep in my bed if there's like a family member or a person visiting from out of town. I'll usually get a separate bed for them, because I'm way too sensitive when it comes to energetic imprints. So I feel their energy after they leave, and sometimes I've had a hard time sleeping. I'm like, what kind of things is this person sort of holding on to in their life? So be mindful of that. Clear your sheets often. Keep your bedroom uncluttered, and all of this is going to help you feel much more rested. That, in addition to having some good boundaries and habits when it comes to sleep. There was a lot that came through, but sometimes people see that and they're like, oh yeah, I'll get a good night's sleep. No, there's a lot of pieces to it. One last thing too is to make sure that you have good nighttime rituals. Calling in protection, and making sure that there's no distractions in the room as well. So kind of turning off your phone, not having too much light kind of leaking in, and really just trying to create a nice, calm, peaceful place. It's essential. That's how your body gets back to a normal rhythm, so you absolutely should be respecting that. All right, let's look now at your wealth card. Wealth includes not just money, but self-confidence and your decisions around how you manage your resources. So this month we have the body here. For me, this card symbolizes your overall strength in your portfolio. And your portfolio doesn't have to be really complicated. This can include like a savings, checking, and maybe some sort of long-term 401k. But I want you to take a look at whatever your portfolio of investments is or are, and I want you to make sure that you're comfortable with it. And so if you might need to diversify it. It may be weaker in some areas than it should be. So this is a month where you want to align yourself with what your long-term plans are. If you're young, married, and you just had a kid, maybe it's college. If you're single and you're taking care of yourself, it may be making sure that you have enough of a slush fund so that you can take care of yourself if you get sick. If you have elderly parents and you're worried about that, it might also be, how am I going to take care of them? How am I going to plan for all of these things in tandem? Because maybe it's all of the above. So whatever your particular needs or plans are, this card is really reminding you to get a firm handle on that, and to get as strong as possible when it comes to your portfolio. Interesting that we see musculature on this, because what I see is that you need some flexibility. So if you are too tied to one path, and for instance, say you have a lot of investments that are in CDs, and you can't access them for like 6 months or 12 months or 5 years or 10 years, that may be way too sort of stringent, and you might need to open that up and have something that's more fluid. So take a look and make sure that your saving plan and also your overall investment plan is something that is flexing and growing with you, and that it's strong and that it can carry you into the future. Ask for financial help if you need it. Looking now at love and relationships, let's see what the general message is for you. We have power. Ra, the sun god here, and it was reversed, so it's showing me a shift in power dynamics this month, And with whenever I see a sun card, because that's really what Ra is in reverse, what you want to avoid is ego. And so it's either you or your partner. I'm looking at the extended forecast, so it's a little trickier to see who has sort of the presenting ego challenge this month. But there is sort of an imbalance with one person being more focused on themselves. And it's okay from time to time. Sometimes, especially like say you've just gotten over surgery and you need to focus on feeling better, and there's obviously going to be more of a self-focused energy, and you may even be a little bit more selfish during that period, and it's okay. But if it's just a standard period in your life and a lot of the energy is going inward, either for you or your partner, this month is about bringing that back into balance. Let's take a look now at your Destiny card. Destiny, of course, includes your overall trajectory and where that's bringing you. Your Destiny card this month is all about power dynamics. I have two cards that stuck together, so I'm going to read them both. The first one is about power, and the second one is about hope. And so getting back to the channeled information at the beginning, hope is the one that I'm attaching to a little bit more here, which is not to give up. And what might be bringing you off that path is this feeling that someone has gotten the better of you or is in a position where they're blocking you. They're not going to always be in that position, and I don't want you to feel that that's the case. And also, if you feel like you want to have this opportunity to reach up to achieve something, this is showing me that it's still within reach, that you can make a power play this month. So don't give up. Let's go ahead now and review all of the information that came through, and then we'll wrap up. Your channeled information this month was what I just said: to stay steadfast, to work hard, and to not give up on yourself, on others, or a dream, whatever is most pertinent for you. There's something that is within reach that basically the universe is testing you to see how much you want it. Keep working for it, keep holding fast to your dream, and don't let go is what I'm seeing. As we look at your catalyst card for this month, we went into great depth about soulmates. The main message here is to work internally on those qualities that you wish to see in others, and know that that's the surefire way to end up winning here, because no matter what, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to have created this change within, and that's going to be more attractive to other people in your life. All right, looking now at each card, the center one was reminding you to be strong, to embrace that outspoken quality, but not to block other people's ability to express or find new ideas. So you really want to make sure that you're listening as well as speaking this month. The month is getting off to a really busy start. Most of the energy this month seems to be surrounding relationships. Almost all of the Cups cards were reversed. So for many of you, your most challenging aspect of this month is going to be how to focus and how to kind of keep your head on straight. The other aspect this month is how to balance out work. There is a very keen chance that many of you might be actually traveling or moving for a job opportunity. That could be delaying some of your relationship plans, but it looks like it's solid, and it does look like there's some good money involved with that. Avoid saying things that you'll regret. This month especially, I think it's important for you to just pull back a little bit, allow other people a chance to sort of speak and express themselves. And after you've had a chance to digest it, then it's okay to kind of weigh in. But make sure that you're not blocking things before they've had a chance to develop. I talked a lot about all of the things that could be affecting your sleep. Sometimes people just think it's about making sure that they put their head down on the pillow. No, make sure that the pillow's new, make sure that you've had a chance to change out the sheets, make sure you have a good nighttime ritual, and that you're going to sleep at a consistent time. All of these things are important to you. So if you honor those, I think you're going to notice a really positive shift in your quality and quantity of sleeping. Strength and flexibility when it comes to your finances, very important. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of things coming up with power. It's interesting that it came up twice in the expanded forecast, but when I'm looking at love, for some of you, power dynamics are going to be sort of the key thing that you want to focus on. I think for some of you, it's just saying no. For others, it might be conceding to someone else's wishes on timing around an event or giving in for something that they want. Just make sure that it's kind of like a seesaw. You're both getting a chance to be the one that is winning or having a chance to kind of exert power. Then it's going to be a more even dynamic. As we look at your destiny card, it's a tale of two cards here. The first one is, again, bringing up that idea of power, and this I think has more to do with, can I achieve what I want? Is someone blocking me? Are they standing in the way? It feels much more oriented towards work, so it feels like both love and work have the same sort of power dynamics coming through. Regardless, the last card is about hope. So that is a great way to end this. I believe that hope is all you need to really make change happen in your life, and if you continue to work hard and have that hope, then you'll be unstoppable. So stick to that if you can. That brings this monthly reading to a close. I hope it gave you the insight that you need to move forward. But if you ever feel like you want to talk at greater depth about anything that either I've talked about here or maybe something that's going on in your life, feel free to reach out and schedule an appointment with me. If you look at the first link below the video, that'll be a way for you to check rates and availability. If you just want to say thank you and support videos like these, check out the second link, and you can donate as little as $1 per month on Patreon or give a one-time donation through my website. That makes a big difference, and I really appreciate that. If you want to just give back in a way that's more supportive but doesn't involve money, then like, share, and subscribe. The sharing part is especially important, so feel free to join me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And on Facebook and Twitter, you can absolutely sort of virally share these videos, and that helps quite a bit. The third link below the video, by the way, will allow you to connect on all of those platforms. Finally, and most importantly, as you know, I show up each month so that we can have an honest and open dialogue about spirituality, metaphysics, and personal development. So I hope that I've been able to do that for you, and I hope that you're starting to do that for others in your life as well. This month, I want you to be hopeful. I want you to realize that the power to create change is something that you own, that you can harness. And don't let anyone in your life either speak negatively to you or tell you that you can't do it. I'm here today to encourage you and tell you that you can. It seems like you have a lot of support. You definitely have support here, and I hope that you're starting to find that same support within yourself. Wishing you much love and light now and always. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves.